You're listening to the Incomparables Total Party Kill podcast, in which a group of friends play Dungeons & Dragons on the internet for your amusement. This is episode number 271, posted December 2020. A really aggressive salad.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, leading the dog and pony crew through the adventure that is the Curse of Strahd, deeper and deeper into the heart of Barovia. Joining me is our ever-present group of lovely adventurers. First off, it's Micah Sargent.
Why am I first? Because I'm your least vinegar cake. What did you say before?
Don't read too much into it.
I'm broken.
I have no idea what's happening.
I'm broken, but Elavor is not. He's a half-elf druid.
Also here...
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I play Elavor, the half-elf druid, whose new friend is Samus, the saber-toothed tiger.
Okay.
How's that spelled?
S-A-A-M-I-S. And for folks who don't know, that's the Blackfoot name for Medicine Hat, which is a city in Alberta, Canada. That's where the first saber-toothed tiger fossil was discovered. So that's why I've named it Samus. S-A-A-M-I-S.
Medicine Hat has an excellent local newspaper column. Just saying. Yeah. Section it's fire.
Also here, it's Aline Sims. Hi, Aline.
Hello, I play Imra Soliana, the Wood Elf Ranger. Her trusty, not steed dog, Androdite. Well, for someone really small, I guess Androdite could be a steed. And also occasionally I handle combat for Arena Coliana.
It's true. Also here, it's Erica Ensign.
Yes, I am playing Brildish, a dwarven paladin with a sacred axe that is now silvered, which is pretty exciting. And also my celestial pony Cindelarnt.
Hello. Also here, it's Jane Ritt. Hi, Jane.
Hi, I play Lena Doolina, the human rogue.
And last but not least, everyone's favorite idea vampire, it's Dan Morin.
I think I'm like a metal guy or something.
I'm
a robot.
Does he have a name?
Not a
That's a
guy.
good question. No, I play Cast in Onatar's Crucible, a Warforged cleric who is attempting to keep his friends alive.
Previously on Total Party Kill, the Dog and Pony Adventures, you have traveled across the land of Barovia. You've been to Little Barovia. You've been to Vallaki. You are now camped out at the town of one Rictavio, a.k.a. Rudolph von Richten, Monster Hunter. You have acquired a great deal of information, silvered weapons, the components to reanimate your friends when they fall in battle. All you have left to do is choose. Where will you go? You have many places. Will you go to Krensk? Will you go to the Wizards of Wine Winery? Will you go to what remains of the fallen city of Berez? For answers to questions such as that one right now, let's play Dungeons & Dragons, where your characters argue about where they're going to go. Yeah.
Everyone's favorite episode.
On the map in Roll20, I have taken you to the world map. Just to remind you, you know roughly where you are. You know roughly where Krensk is. You know where the Wizards of Wine Winery is. I'll put a little label on that. And you know where the ruins of Berez are. So, I think the question is, where do you want to go? You have a variety of kind of side quest / main quest type things, but it's up to you, players.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our original plan was to head to the winery.
Mm-hmm. Well, Brildish says, our original plan was to go to the drowned marshy city to get that
That's
weapon, because I was really excited about the weapon. But yeah, I think we decided the winery was a little bit more important. It seems like since we've been here, guys, what we've been doing is looking at the sort of the most important thing to do right now. So, saving somebody from a trapped room in a creepy house, that was more important than leaving town. And now I think, though, continuing on to and then we were going to go to the winery, but then we decided that it was more important to check out Rictavio's tower, because Rictavio, and now I think the most important thing to do is continue on to the winery. Like, order of operations, what's the most urgent?
But we
Yeah.
have learned that it is unlikely that our, clue is leading us there. So really all we would be doing is returning the supply of wine to the city that we can barely return to.
That's
So-
true, but think about all those people. This is
Yeah,
this
we
is
sort of made
important.
friends with those folks. And, I don't know about you all, but I kind of want to stay sort of, how you sometimes you go to a place and it's not a happy place, and then it starts to drag you down and make you unhappy. And then you just sort of become one of those. Like, it's like New York. You go to New York and then you become a New Yorker. I don't
What
ever
is
want to
this
go to.
New York?
It's just,
Is that some
a
form
long
of?
story.
Is that an orc? New York.
Ooh,
Uh,
I wouldn't want to go there, or maybe I would.
Is this an
Yeah.
elven city?
It is an elven city.
Yes,
Thank you.
New York City.
Yes. Y''RK. And in new Y''RK.
The worst part about Orc City is the salsa, let me tell you.
Yeah.
New York City.
Basically, what I'm saying
rope.
is we want to try to not let Big Barovia, get us all down and make us kind of meh.
Whoa, hold on. Dungeon Master aside. Had I not already depressed the hell out of you? That was like what I've been trying to do for the last 6 months. No?
Well, you're
All right, hold
you're
on. I got this
trying.
knob here.
You did
Oh,
give him
no.
a tiger last
Hold on.
episode,
Hold on.
right?
The knob is at like 5. I'm cranking it to 7. Let's see how that
Come
goes.
on. The world's already cranked it to 10. I don't
No,
need
my
this.
electrodes, they burn.
Anyway, so
Um,
let's try to help the people that helped us back where we came from by making sure they have wine. That's the point I'm trying to get across.
I think that
before
would be
Tony
a
tried to
worthwhile
depress me.
pursuit. It seems reasonable to me, and we can always. I doubt as though the witch and that weapon, if they have been there for a long amount of time, are going anywhere anytime soon.
I understand, and I think that we can go to the winery next, but what I would say is bear in mind everywhere we go in Barovia, people are suffering. We will be able to focus on their specific problems, but they all stem from
That's true.
the big man in the mountain. That being
I'm-
said, I think it makes
The
sense.
old
Yeah, I'm
man in the
worried that-
mountain.
No, the big man.
Oh
man.
yes,
But technically also quite old.
big man on campus, I believe.
I'm just worried that without a wine supply, some of the people who are currently in Vallaki aren't going to make it long enough for us to cure their suffering in any other way. So let's give them their booze.
But all will be well. We were told that all is well.
So we shall depart Rictavio's tower and head towards the Wizards of Wine Winery.
Are we
Okay.
going to invite Rictavio to come with us?
We had once. We can certainly do it again.
I like the idea of having someone who is here and safe and can be returned to for advice.
Yeah, plus a place we can go come back to that's safe too.
Mhm. Well, since we asked once, I will say to Rictavio, or whatever his actual name is, I'm going to call him
Rudolph
Ricky.
von Richten, but you may call me either one.
Rudy.
You're quite nice.
Thank you. Can I call you Ricky?
You may.
All right, Ricky. Last night, or actually, I guess it would have been yesterday afternoon when we were chatting, we discussed the possibility of you coming with us. We would, you're more than welcome to join us. It looks like that your Tiger Bud is going to be joining us anyway. But if you would prefer to stay here and just be a bastion of strength that we can return to, that would be nice too.
I think I will stay here. I have an apprentice out in Barovia, and I think she will be meeting me up here. If I come across her, I will send her after you.
What's her name?
Oh, Esmeralda Davenier. She is a very experienced monster hunter, and not as old as I am.
You don't look.
She
a
still
day
has. She
over-
still has good knees, is what I'm saying.
She keeps them in a bag. Very-
Don't open the bag,
Don't open the
Dan.
Bag of knees. Well then, perhaps we should be on our way.
And so you head out. You leave Rictavio's tower after a quick light breakfast and head back to the main road that cuts east to west across all of the lands of Barovia, and you would decide to head west toward Krensk and the Wizards of Wine Winery. it's probably less than an hour's travel on the main road before you reach another intersection where the road switches north over a little stream to a Kredsk, or cuts south to a side road that you've been directed leads to the Wizard of Wine winery. And so you head to the Wizards of Wine winery. It's kind of a damp, weird day. You know, it's never sunny in Barovia, but it is overcast and it is foggy, and there's kind
My
of a
favorite
cold.
sitcom, by the way.
Are we
Which
in
one?
Seattle?
Sunny in
It's never
Barovia.
sunny in Barovia.
Okay. It's the second episode. I've had enough of you. So there's kind of a cold, but you know, it's like it hasn't totally decided to rain, but there's little bits of cold water falling out of the sky on you, and that's not great. About a half mile off the main road, the road stops being a road and is more of just a muddy trail that kind of meanders through the woods. It does seem to be kind of descending down, as if you're going into kind of you know, a lower place of elevation.
Elavor?
Thank you. And you know, along the way you do come across there's a sign. It's just a wooden stake with an arrow pointing in the direction you're headed that says vineyard.
I think probably Imra would, as we're going, be checking out the road just to see if there are signs that like the wine delivery passed.
Sure, give
Or
me a
was-
perception check.
Hmm. Hang on. I just got a new like rolling surface. And
Is that perception or is it survival? Because it's more like tracking.
I think it's probably perception survival. I feel like survival would be more like you're crossing desolate terrain, and I don't know.
I got a
Gotcha.
12 for perception.
You do notice some pretty obvious wagon ruts here and there in the mud. It seems like probably, though this is not a road anymore, it's just a trail. It looks like this is a pretty common path for some kind of cargo to be coming to and from the winery.
Okay. Do I notice anything else? Do I notice anything amiss or unusual with the tracks?
Nope.
Looks fine. Okay.
Looks like wagon tracks. They look wagony.
Hmm.
And so you head further down into this little valley where the winery is located. And you get, I'm going to move the dog token that represents your party on the map. The forest starts to break way to a large clearing where you can see many fields and fields of grapevines growing on various wooden structures that support them.
They're all red grapes because we know there's no white wine involved.
So there's
Do
kind
they
of a-
look healthy?
Yeah, relatively. This is a wide open area where this winery has been built. You can see kind of fields and fields of crops, and a large structure in the center of the kind of farm seems to be the winery. Maybe there's a couple small outbuildings next to it, but there's basically just one building. And you know, you're kind of standing there taking in the scene when you hear somebody whisper to you. Psst.
Did you hear that? I think I heard it through the grapevine. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. There was grape.
Was that one of you?
Was what one of? I'm gonna just pretend I didn't.
Over
hear.
here.
Do we
Where
all
is
hear
it
this?
coming from?
Do you want to look
sure
around? Yeah, you all hear that.
Yeah.
Androdite, does Androdite indicate?
Yeah. Androdite kind of nuzzles you, Imra, and points up with his nose.
So I'll draw my bow and an arrow and kind of loosely knock it, and I'm gonna look up.
Okay. Seated on a branch about 12 feet up, kind of here, just on the edge of the woods before you get into the wine fields, there's a young boy. He's wearing kind of a dark cloak with a cowl. The cloak looks like it's kind of made out of feathers. And he whispers to Imra, "Who are you?"
Who are you?
My name's Davian. Who are you?
Why are you in
Why are
that
you
tree?
In the tree? Yeah.
I was hiding.
From
Why?
who?
Bad people.
What kind
You
of
guys should come
bad-
up. You guys should come up here. He scoots a little bit aside on the branch.
I'm afraid
Oh,
I am not
Elevor's
sure
climbing that tree.
that
No,
tree would
Elevor's
support
climbing that
me.
tree.
There's
He's
other
right
trees
up
too.
there.
He points around.
Is there a tree I could actually climb?
Is there a tree my pony could climb? I
No.
say.
Yeah.
I'm already up in the tree next to him.
All right.
What direction are the bad people approaching from?
He points to the winery.
Are they on their way?
They're there now.
Why are they bad? What have they done?
They chased my family off.
Who is your family?
The Mardukov family. That's our winery.
Ah.
So the people who are there now are not the Mardukovs. They've taken it over somehow.
Yeah, and I don't really know if they're people. They don't look like people I've seen before.
What do they look like?
They look more like trees.
We're all just
Interesting. Well, this is Crucible says. This is
I start
fascinating. I must
Stroking my axe.
I must investigate.
How long have they been here?
Like a week.
Where's the rest of your family? Are you safe?
They're in the woods. I can take you to them if you want.
I
what are
think
your
that
names?
might be best. I am Lena Lena.
I am Crucible.
I'm Brildish.
I'm sitting right next to him, and I'm Elavor, and that is Samus.
And Argal and Irina Kaliana and
Lauren.
Yeah.
Androdite.
yeah.
They're all,
You guys gotta
how many of
you
us
guys
are
gotta-
there?
There's a lot of you. You
Yeah.
do not travel light. You guys roll deep.
Can I cop some insight on this
There are
kid?
10
Sure.
of us now?
You guys got to work on the way to rattle off the names, like when a parent is mad at their kids.
Mhm.
My parents were real good at that. Anna, David, Tony, Michael, Devin. You gotta be ready to go. Especially the best thing is when they're mad at one of you and they have to work through the lists in order.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got-
So that's a 12 in insight. Do I think this is a trap?
No, you think it is a small child. It is weird that he is up in a tree. He does seem strange.
I like your cloak there, kid. What's that all about?
Thanks. What's this? He swirls the cloak around him, and suddenly, you're a bit confused by this, Elavor. There is just a bird perched on the branch next to you.
I immediately trust it.
And
Holy
the bird,
crap!
The bird kind of looks at you, tilts its head to its side, and kind of flaps to another branch, and seems to be kind of. And then I don't know, to the extent a bird can use body language, indicates that you should follow the bird.
Elavor is losing his friggin' mind because this whole time he didn't understand why Miss Moo said that they should trust the birds, and now he understands it, and he's mad at himself for being mad about her telling them that they should trust the birds, and that's character development that has just happened in that very single moment where you just see Elavor looking off in the distance with like a cracked brain.
Elavor, gain inspiration.
Yay!
Yeah, I guess we follow.
All right.
Can I roll Arcana on the bird?
Yeah.
I got a 9.
Coolest.
Bird seems pretty magic, Crucible.
Right. I'm in.
Yeah, you've never met a bird that turned into a kid before. So the bird leads you not very far to a clearing where there seems to be kind of an improvised campsite, and there are several birds and several people here in the campsite. They all look related. They all look human. And several of them, in fact, bear an uncanny family resemblance to the Mardukovs you met back in Vallaki. So Davian turns back into a kid before he gets to the clearing, hops down off the branch, and walks you guys into the clearing and introduces you to some of his relatives. There's his father, Adrian, his brother, legally distinct from Elavor, Elvir. And he's got a mother and an aunt, and there's a kind of an elderly grandfather there too. And they are the part of the Mardukov family.
So only the guys have names?
Apparently there. Let me just say, there's only one. There's one woman's named here and like 7 men's name, which is weird to me, including people like there's someone who's like so and so's husband, and it's like, is that person have a name? Oh, they do. Okay, so yeah, I will say the naming of these creatures.
Creatures?
Creatures. Okay, there's
Are they
another
all birds?
There's another paragraph with more names.
Okay,
sorry.
good.
I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not gonna write them all down right now though.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah. So,
Hold
did we know the name of the brother of the owner of the tavern?
I don't know if you did.
Because I think that he mentioned that he was worried about his brother
Yeah,
specifically.
I think he might have mentioned Adrian.
Yeah.
So
they're all.
So Davian introduces you to his various family and extended family here, who seem a little bit nervous that their small child has just brought home a group of 8 adventurers / saber-tooth tigers / ponies into their little campsite.
How small is this child? Are we talking like 4?
12.
Or are we talking like
12.
Oh, that's not that small, especially with like I imagine that people live maybe 23 years in Barovia on average, so
Yeah.
that's like middle age.
Sometimes 19, you know.
Yeah.
Please
So-
do not fear. We have come from Vallaki. We had heard that there were troubles in the transport of wine back to the city. We've come to investigate.
Adrian shakes your hand vigorously, Lena Delina, and introduces himself. Did my brother send you?
Yes, in fact, he did.
I knew he'd finally be good for something. Well, I shouldn't say that about him now. Yes, I'm Adrian. This is part of the Mardukov family. We've been chased off from our winery. It's dreadful. Some of them have taken some injuries, so we've been camped out here trying to figure out what to do next.
Chased off by whom exactly?
There are some druids that live nearby.
Everybody in our party stops and
Everyone looks at
all turn to Elavor.
No. They're bad druids. Not like you, I'm sure. These are mean druids. They are servants of the devil.
Ah.
And, well, they've never been big fans of us. And, you know, it was not uncommon that come every harvest season, they would send some of their minions down to harass us and we'd have to fend them off. But this was new. This time they came in force and they took the winery from us. It was several druids and then several of their plant creatures that served them.
Hmm.
Huh.
That's
Interesting.
I assume there is no way that you can reason with them.
They meant to take our lives if we had not fled.
Well, perhaps we should have a discussion with them, a frank discussion, an exchange of ideas, and if it comes to that, something more. And Crucible hefts his spear.
Imra's just in the background, just like I'm just rolling my eyes, shaking my head. Crucible's childlike optimism is.
I'm sure if we simply explain the situation to them, they will be more than happy to leave us be.
I would be happy to explain with my axe.
Perhaps we should ask them some questions first.
Oh my god.
Roldish leaves.
Look, noble adventurers, I am very impressed by your words, but I can't ask you to do this. There are dozens of these horrible plant monsters there. Dozens.
There are almost a dozen of us.
And I would really, really like some wine at this point in our journey.
Well, I assure you, wine is something that we used to have that's still in the winery. There is a great deal of wine in the winery.
See?
More than any of you. How many of you are there again? More than any of you could drink.
Can you challenge accepted? Can you tell us where in the winery most of these people or creatures are concentrated?
I am not sure. The winery itself it's not very big. It's basically one large open production floor, and then we have our quarters on the second floor.
Could you like draw us a map in the dirt so we can kind of see what the layout is of the building?
Sure. He finds a nice sized twig and starts sketching you a map of the winery, and the grounds and the path that lead up to it.
It doesn't even have to be to scale exactly. I'm just, I like to know an idea of what we're
Gets out a
getting into.
ruler.
So he gives you a
Protractor.
pretty detailed, loving description of the layout of the winery that I've now shared visually with all of you.
I think the fact that he did it with such loving care makes Brildish think that it's even more important to save it and get these people back into their home.
This winery has been in our family for generations. It is one of the few points of light in Barovia. It is a way that we can bring hope into their sad, awful, pathetic, desperate, did I say sad lives? It is
Story
it is all
checks out.
they can really rely on. We provide wine to all of the three towns, to Kransk, to Valaki, to Little Barovia. It is an act of service that the Mardukov family can bring to the. We can't produce the wines we once did, and even that coaxing what we can here, getting something to grow in Barovia is quite hard. But it is the good that we bring to the land of Barovia.
Yeah, we were pretty impressed by all those grapes that we saw when we first made it to the clearing there. So good job! I shake his hand.
I must admit that we had help.
From whom?
Oh?
He kind of like he makes sure that no one is like beyond his family is like lurking in the trees. My family came into possession of some magic seeds long ago, and each of these helped us grow a particular type of grapes that we then would turn into wine. And sadly, these objects, it seems like the devil, or at least his servants, are aware of them, and they want them. And, well, the first one went missing a long time ago. Back then we were able to make the finest champagne, but that was before my time. And, well, 10 years ago, the second one went missing. But these druids, they came for that third and final one. And I believe they have already taken it from the winery.
Rats. What time of day is it? I don't know how long it took us
I
to
think
get.
we
I think it's late morning.
All right. Brildish is already loosening up her axe. Like, I'm
Yeah.
ready to go, you guys.
Yeah.
I see no reason
Yeah,
to
why
delay
not?
any further.
These creatures, these druids, I will tell you, their base of operations, or their place where they, and again he looks at Elavor nervously. Dark druids, evil druids, that they practice, they worship on a hill further south of the winery, and I'm just gonna show that on your map, just so that I'm just gonna bring you, I guess, back briefly to the Barovia map.
Oh, down.
You see that further
Mhm.
south of the winery?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back to the winery map.
Do you know if they have
Just-
any particular weaknesses, or would you think just smashing them with a big old axe would get the job done?
I am just a simple vineyard owner operator. I simply seek to make
Caveman
the
vineyard owner.
most affordable
Vineyard.
wines available in all of Barovia.
Also,
I don't know. I do not know of the
Only
ways of
wines?
battle. But the druids, they do seem to have, the plants follow their will, and they do seem to know some magic beyond my comprehension.
Perhaps you should leave that to us then.
Perhaps
Yeah, I know a thing or two.
about a thing or two.
I know a thing, and it's this axe.
It is a very nice axe.
Thanks. It's recently silvered.
Impressive.
Bling.
Well, we
He
will
look-
see
he-
what we can do
He
for you
looks
and your family.
Genuinely impressed.
Before we go anywhere, I'm going to use a spell. I'm going to cast Aid. I can bolster 3 people's hit point maximum by 5. So I'm going to guess Bruldish,
Ooh.
probably Lena, and then
What about
Elavor,
our
either of you need
heavy
that, or
boy?
should I put it on myself?
What about our heavy boy?
Which one?
What's his
Aragol?
name? Aragol.
He's
I have-
He's
I
already
feel
got
like
way
it
more.
should go on the PCs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm not helping.
Yeah,
I'm not helping
um,
any NPCs.
My max is 55, and I usually
You're, like,
fight
way
pretty
the
far
heck
away.
too.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
I was
God,
in
your
the
max is almost
30s,
as
so-
high as mine is.
Rangers,
I think I
man.
rolled really well when I leveled up.
Mhm.
Man, I'm maxed out at
To level
45, and I thought I was pretty tough.
Can
I'm
you aid
45
yourself?
as well.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I would
you're the
say do
healer,
that.
so
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, 3 creatures
Yep.
within
How long
range.
does this last?
It lasts for 8 hours.
oh,
Dang.
Nice.
Basically all day. So your hit
Mhm.
point max and your current hit points are both increased by 5.
all day
Awesome.
strong. That's the Crucible guarantee.
That's right.
He's like the Michelin Man.
I feel much better.
Well, we will do what we can for you and your family to rid the winery of these druids.
Bad druids. Druids.
Bad druids,
Dark
What
druids.
you gonna do?
Davian volunteers to lead the way back to the woods to the outskirts. Of
How
the
far
vineyard.
away from the winery are we?
You're in the woods nearby on the edge of the winery.
All right, I'm just trying to figure
How's
out what to, how we should, where should Pony Sindalar and be? What about Arena? But
Yeah,
maybe,
do you want to take everybody into battle with you, or do you want to leave them? You could
No, but I'm
potentially leave
thinking that
people
maybe-
with the Mardukov family.
maybe Aragal and Pony and Arena can stay somewhere that's kind of nearby, but not this far away.
Okay, like the edge of the tree line.
Yeah, like stay hidden, but I don't like the idea of Arena being so far that it will take us a good long time to get to wherever
Right.
she is.
Okay. You could potentially decide which direction you approach the winery from. I don't know if that matters. It's it's kind of in the middle of the fields of vines.
Brildish's
So-
idea was to walk in the front door, so
Yeah.
What if we were to have Elavor do some scouting in rat form?
Radivore
That is an option.
or
Seems reasonable.
Rotivore.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
All right.
Although keep in mind that these are druids, so they may see through our usual bag of tricks.
I think that they won't be ready for other druids nearby.
fair.
So, yeah.
So what's your plan,
wait.
Elavor?
Hold on. All these people can turn into crows,
Mm.
so maybe they would be ready for
Mm.
wild shape type things. No, a rat's really small. Yeah, I'll become a rat.
Okay. So Elavor transforms into a rat and scurries off. It is quite a distance from kind of the tree line to the winery itself. Because there's basically a vineyard all around the winery, right? The vineyard is relatively healthy looking. There's a 2-story stone building. You notice as you're kind of circumnavigating around it, Elavor, that it's got multiple entrances, thick ivy covering every wall. There's the most kind of obvious entrance is there's kind of a big loading dock on which side is this? Do I have a compass on here? On the north side of the winery seems to be the main entrance with a big loading dock, and even like it looks like there was a wagon that was being half loaded up when the attack happened. And as you're getting kind of a little bit closer, Elavor, you hear the rustle in the vines around you, and it seems like the closer you get to the winery, strangely the vines are not as healthy. And you hear something kind of shuffling around in the plants near you, and up to you whether you want to keep heading closer to the winery.
Yeah, I think I want to. Let me see here. Bum, 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 bum. So I have a keen smell, which means I have advantage on perception checks that rely on smell. So I want to see if, as a rat, I can kind of sniff out what this might be.
You smell a lot of vegetation.
Okay. Well, okay, I want to get closer then.
Okay.
Come a little bit closer.
You've at this point you're kind of around the outskirts of the winery, and when you notice that probably one of the plants on the edge of one of the rows of vines, of grapevines, it looked kind of like a dead shrub at first, and you notice it kind of scamper from one row to another.
Okay,
Does
so
it
it's
look like a
alive.
blighted twig of some sort?
Indeed, it does.
Just asking.
Now, why in the world?
Do you already see that on the map?
How did you guess that?
Does it say that somewhere on the map, Erica? I don't know.
No, it doesn't. I've just
Okay.
like the way you described it. I was just like, that sounds like a twig blight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing. Twig blight.
So yeah, Elavor.
Okay, well, oh, do I still maintain my? I can't remember when I'm in wild shape. If I maintain my, hold on, let me see. So I want to do a nature check because I want to try and figure out that that's a twig blight.
Yep.
Which feels more real than the guessing. All right, a 21 on nature check.
Wow.
Yes, Elavor, you are a druid, and you are familiar with the idea that the idea of a blight. A blight is an awakened plant. So it's a plant that has intelligence and mobility. And they're, I don't know if you've encountered them in your travels. They are particularly common in lands contaminated by darkness.
Maybe creatures like this are the reason that Elavor became an animal-based druid instead of a plant-based druid.
Plant-based.
Blights are they carry out the will of some kind of ancient evil and attempt to spread that evil wherever it can be. So I mean, not to get like denominational here, but probably a blight that would serve a druid, like though you are also a druid, like probably you wouldn't feel very good about that kind of druid, right?
Yeah, these are giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, and I'll even tell you, you rolled really, really well, right?
Yeah, 21.
You remember a story you were told when you were like
a wee lad.
A baby druid.
A wee apprentice druid. And it was kind of like, I don't know if you remembered so much the lesson from it, so much as the scary part of it. And there was a story about a monster. I think it was even a vampire named Gulthias. And he raised up a terrible power, a creature, a thing, a tree that was called the Nightfang Spire, and Gulthias was eventually undone when, as a vampire, he was fought by heroic heroes, and they plunged a wooden stake through his heart. But when Gulthias was slain, his blood infused the wooden stake that was driven through his heart, and that wooden stake grew into a horrible, horrible tree that was poisoned by the vampire's essence. And it is said that basically, like, the saplings that grow from the seeds of that tree become blights.
Wow.
Yeah. So blights are bad. There are a variety of them. I will tell you that you recognize this specifically. I think you'd probably be familiar with the concept of a needle blight, a twig blight, and a vine blight. And that this one in particular looked like it might be a needle blight, which is basically looks like a dead shrub, and it can fire needles at you. That's bad.
Needle blight,
And as you're looking around, you realize there's a lot of them intermixed with the vines.
This is great. Okay, well, Elavor's going to come scampering back.
I think you need to do some kind of roll to make that happen.
Okay.
Stealth.
Roll
something.
scamper.
Yeah,
Let's
roll scamper.
see what we've got here. I've gone and read about needle blight. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Just trying to see if I had any advantage as a rat, but I don't. Just smell. Okay. Yeah, I'll roll for stealth, I guess. Ha
20. All right.
Nice.
You
Well done.
dance through the vines like the stealthiest of rats. Man, I want to play like a stealth action video game where I'm a rat sneaking through a haunted vineyard. I don't know about you. And return to your friends with the blights unaware of your comings and goings.
All right. And I proceed to tell them, all right, we got blights, y'all. Many blights. I assume these are the creatures that the bad druids have raised. Don't know if you ever heard about it, but there was this vampire named Goliath. This is Elavor's thing. Remember, he doesn't do names very well. Vampire named Goliath, I think. Anyway, he was staked through the heart, and then the stake turned into this giant evil tree that gave birth to saplings, and these little saplings became the blights that you are familiar with. So basically, these are all really bad creatures that are around here trying to spread their evil goo cooties onto all of the good vines and ruin all the wine that's going out.
Elavor,
So,
do you know if perhaps these blights have any specific kind of weakness or vulnerability?
well,
Or
I
could
did
you
roll a
find
21
out? Yeah.
on my nature check. So I wonder if maybe I do know anything about them in my storied history
Yeah.
learning about them.
Elavor, you know some of their weaknesses. They can't speak.
That is a weakness.
That is a
Some might
weakness.
say a strength.
Well, is this a
That's a
job
feature.
interview? Job interview for Needle Blight?
I would say my greatest weakness is my inability to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I hear anything in these
Also, I'm a
stories?
consummate liar.
I would say my greatest professional accomplishment is springing from the killing blow of a great vampire of ancient history.
Tell us more about how you turned a possible defeat into an opportunity.
So in my hearing about this, did I hear about what folks did upon the creation of, the Nightfang Spire babies or whatever, however that works?
They do not have any particular strengths or weaknesses. They probably don't like being chopped up.
They're not fans of axes.
As
Yeah.
soon as you mentioned chopping,
Fire.
Yeah, I was wondering about fire. That was my question.
Some of them are some blights are vulnerable to fire, not all blights.
But some, see, if they're still wet, you haven't dried them out yet.
Yeah.
It just makes
Like
a nice smoke.
like a vine blight and a needle blight probably don't care about fire, but a twig blight, oh yeah, that's a problem.
That's kindling right there.
Yeah.
Shall we?
smash them with my
Dance?
axe. Yes.
That's kind of
So
what I
your
was
your tactical thing to think about here is Elavor, as far as you could tell, the vineyard was crawling with needle
Yeah,
blights.
I think we should not go after all of them. I think there are going to be way too many of them.
You think there were, as you were kind of coming and going, dozens.
Yeah, there were many of these little blights, and I think what we should probably do is confront the druids that are controlling the blights.
Can we go
Brildish
around
looks
the blights?
crestfallen.
I know, Broldish, I'm really sorry, but I just don't want all of us to get hurt. And the last thing I'd like to see is your axe getting broken into a bunch of pieces, which is what I'm worried would happen if you were suddenly swarmed by a bunch of
Halo would
blights.
never let that happen.
I'd like to believe that.
Do we know if there are portions of the countryside that are not covered in these?
I would say that they're pretty evenly spread throughout the vineyard around the winery. So it's probably up to you whether you want to attempt to sneak past them, cut your way through them, or start a battle and wait for 30 blights to come to you.
So it sounds like they have a
crap,
perimeter
they would
that's
still
fairly
come
well
to us.
covered. I wonder if there are any other. No, they would have mentioned if there was an underground entrance or a tunnel or something like that.
I warn you
We
that
could.
I am not very stealthy, so that may not be a great approach for me, but
Neither am I. Maybe the rest of you could sneak in and we could deal with the twig blights.
I think we should probably stay together.
So perhaps we should find a
If
way
you think so.
to cut our way through the line and
Yeah.
make haste towards the winery.
Oh, golly.
I mean, we
See,
can certainly start by trying to sneak. I just don't think the two of us will be successful for very long.
Yeah, there's so
Are
many
there
of us.
any ways that we could go over them? Any other alternative
Did you bring your hang glider?
entrances?
I don't jump very high.
I don't
Dab-
typically travel with magical people. I do not know the depths of your
Aw.
abilities.
Well, there was that one time that Elavor was a flying octopus that was also
That's
invisible. But we
That is
can't all
true.
do that.
Right.
I am at a loss.
I think,
Do we
I think the
just
only-
smash them?
I think the only way out is
Yeah.
through, or the only way in is through. The only
I
way
mean,
in is through.
We could choose the if
I
if
could
there's
also
a
become a blight and lead you all as prisoners.
We're all
They have
tied
it.
up.
That does
Why
usually
don't
work
we-
in every other scenario.
Yeah. Why don't we try
just,
to?
just like what is the whole blight penal system? What does it look like? You guys are pointed like a disheveled blight public defender who takes you before a blight judge.
It was 2 weeks from retirement.
Yeah. Oh, there's a jury of blights who looks at you all sternly as as a blight judge gavels in the blight court. So sorry, I went a long way with that idea.
This is basically like 3 episodes of Steven Universe.
Yeah.
Okay, but what's wrong with that idea? I'm just kidding.
They're all great ideas.
Just saying, I'm offering.
I
It's
mean,
like I have one more wild
Elavor
shape left.
could. I mean, it if there's a spot in the perimeter that seems to be thinner,
Weakest.
yeah, then we could try to go through there. I don't know if Elavor needs to wild shape again to go check that out, or if there's some other way to
Elavor,
figure
give
that out.
me, Elavor, you kind of, there's a lot of drawing in the dirt with sticks today. You don't give you just draw a box for the winery, and you draw some X's where the various needle blights are. I don't know. Somebody give me something that they think would be. I mean, maybe it's just straight up intelligence, but some kind of what is
Not
your
it.
what is your Warcraft skill?
I mean, Brildish isn't bad at fighting, but I feel like Brildish is not great at tactics overall.
Strategy, yeah.
Someone roll tactics.
Brilldish's intelligence modifier is -1.
I got a 6. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
so's mine.
Okay, I'll do it.
I mean,
Intelligence or wisdom?
It could be
Ooh.
either one,
Oh,
probably,
man, I
right?
should have rolled wisdom. I'm much better at wisdom.
I got an 8. With,
Oh my goodness!
and
Yeah, I guess
have
we're just
plus
smashing
6.
through.
Yeah.
10 for
I think it's
a
the
wisdom
difference
check.
between us getting a surprise round and them getting a surprise round.
Except we
Is
won't be
anybody
surprised
surprised at
because
this
we're
point?
wait.
I guess we
Yeah.
do have a lot of people now that I think about it.
Mm.
All right.
So even if there are 15 of them, look at our group over here.
Well,
We've
we
got
left
so
some
many
of them
people.
behind.
That's true.
Although
Yeah.
now that we know that there are blights kind of swarming the countryside, I'm wondering if we want to send our NPCs back to the family as opposed to just leaving them here, because it's not like we'll be able to save them anyway.
But
because
they can
there
hop
will be
on pony
blights.
and at least ride away.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah, they don't need to be here for any reason.
I just don't want Arena so far away that somebody could snatch her without us having any chance of getting there.
That's true.
Like
Right, so-
Argal could probably hold out for a while, but
Yeah.
we don't know how long.
Or if he would actually do
Yeah,
it.
who knows? Maybe he would turn.
Anyway,
Oh, yeah,
What's
it
our
is
plan?
kind of
Anyway,
bizarre.
what's the plan?
Okay.
I think we're
smash some
wading through some
blights.
big
Yeah, I
blights.
think we're
All right, so the plan is kill some blights. I'll let you decide which direction do you want to attack the winery from. There's entrances on various sides, so
One that is not the front door, but also not the hill that it has been indicated that they like to hang out on.
side door it is, which
Yes.
is roughly, we'll just say, where I've already placed your tokens.
Wonderful.
All right, so you stand on the tree line. You have drawn your maps in the dirt with sticks. You have made a plan for where to send your wards if things get bad, and then you set a marching pace and you head into the vineyard toward the winery.
I still have my bow and arrow out and
Yep.
loosely knocked.
All right, why don't you roll initiative? So this map is just a map of the winery, so it doesn't really have the full vineyard. So, we're going to do this a little bit theater of the mind, and we'll see how far we get before we call it an episode anyway, okay? All right, I guess that means I should roll for a needle blight, probably. All right, needle blights are plants, and they are not the best. All right. You are marching through the vineyard with determination. You see the rustling of plants all around you, and you can see that there are basically, various needle blights are kind of staggering through the foliage at you. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. There's kind of 8 needle blights in your general area. For you to fight your way through. So again, don't use this as a tactical map. Think of it as theater of the mind. There are needle blights ahead of you. There are needle blights to your left and right, and we will just deal with it in turn order. So Lena Delina, you are first.
Okay. I am going to. So, are there any needle blights that one of my allies is adjacent to? Would you say, or are they off?
I'd say not yet. You have not engaged them yet. They are all around you, but you're not in melee with them yet. You could certainly choose to be if you wanted.
Okay. So I am going to use my insightful fighting to make an insight check against a creature I can see that isn't incapacitated, contested by their deception check.
Okay. I am
How
rolling.
sneaky are these plants?
I'm rolling
Yeah.
deception for a needle blight.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yes.
Is deception is charisma? I assume.
Yes.
Yes. Seems that way.
I got
it
a
is.
13 somehow.
Okay, I got a 14.
Wow.
Which means that I can use my sneak attack against that target, even if I don't have an ally adjacent.
All right. So you see a needle blight that was attempting to kind of sneak up into your peripheral vision, and it catches your eye, and something happens.
Yep, so I'm going to head up to them with my swords drawn and slash at the needle blight. That is going to be a 19 versus AC.
You have no trouble chopping at the brush, the shrubbery in front of you. Roll damage.
So that is going to be 19 damage.
It collapses into a
Wow.
pile of dead twigs. You feel confident that needle blights are not that intimidating, but there are a lot of them. Elavor and Pet, go.
Okay. Elavor invokes his flame blade and approaches the nearest needle blight to him. Excellent.
Yep, they're all around you. You see one in the row of the vineyard. The vineyard just to your right. You duck over a row, and there's a needle blight shuffling toward you. Your flame blade bursts with energy.
And 18 to hit.
Yes, you hit it with a flaming sword.
And I do 8 damage.
Okay, that needle blight is significantly hurt.
Okay. Then my sabre tooth tiger approaches the same needle blight, and let's see. Goes in for a bite, 19 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
And does. Oops. That was the sound of the saber-toothed tiger. Does 12 damage. More damage than me. Don't show me up.
Wow, the saber-toothed tiger it's like it just ate like a really aggressive salad.
Love it.
All right, Broldish. Your friends are making quick work of the needle blights around you, but there are still many more. What will you do?
I would like to just wander up to whatever's the closest one to me and just thwack at it
Sure.
with my axe. Yes. And I will shout, "In Hela's name!" And that's an 18 on the die.
All
So
right,
it's like a
roll
25.
damage.
Woo. 6.
All right, you have injured a needle blight.
And I take my second attack. In Hela's name, die, small tree. And that's another 18 on the die. And, ooh, that's better. That's 12.
All right, you destroy another plant. Another evil plant.
Thank you.
Crucible.
Crucible strides forward, sees a twig blight, raises his hand, and a burst of radiant energy shoots forth. So have that sucker make a, I believe it's dexterity saving throw.
All right. It somehow rolls a 20.
Whoa.
Wow.
Cool. I won't bother
Yeah.
rolling for damage. I knew that would be me. I knew I was going to be the,
The
one.
the needle blight nimbly blends in with the vineyard around it.
Tricksy buggers.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Imra.
I'm not going to walk up to one. I am gonna target one with my bow and arrow.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 28.
Roll damage.
10.
Wow, that needle blade is hanging on by a thread.
And then I get to take my second attack.
Okay.
Oh, that was an 11.
Yep. Or sorry,
Oh,
11. Wait, no.
11.
11 will not hit a needle blade.
Okay.
All right. So, from all around you, the needle blades kind of shake, and there is the sound of there's kind of like a quick whistling sound as needles rain down upon you. I am just gonna roll a quick needle attack on each of our adventurers in the group here. You sent Pony Cinderlark back, right?
Yes, they're all like beyond the tree line.
All right,
Pony
Cinderlark.
Argyle and
And
Arena
Arena.
are all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are all back. I'll just
Yeah.
tuck them
Yep.
over here.
I have
All
a quick
right.
question. Am I standing next to any of my friends, or were the twig blights all spread out so far that I am no longer next
I
to my
think you
friends?
probably aren't standing immediately
Okay.
next to any of your friends. All right.
fine.
So hold on. Let me roll some attacks on all of you as you are basically like needles are raining down from the sky. I think each of you is going to take 2 needle attacks. Lena Delina, 19 versus armor class.
That'll hit.
and, higher. Fun times. Broldish, a 21 and a very low number.
The 21 hits.
Imra, a critical success and a 6.
Wow. One of those hits.
Crucible, a 20 and a 15.
Nope.
Elavor, a 19 and a very low number.
All right.
A 20 doesn't hit you, Crucible?
No, my AC is
21.
21.
Wow.
I made a
one
medal.
Wow.
Elavor, you got hit once, I think.
Yeah, once.
Saber-tooth tiger, 2 15s. And
yeah.
Androdite.
Oh.
Androdite, 13 and 7.
Sabretooth got hit twice.
All right. Each attack is just going to do a flat 8 damage. Piercing damage.
Androdite's AC is 15, so.
Okay. So you are peppered with needles. I will tell you, you have cut a swath through the needle bites. You feel like you're running through the vines, cutting things down, firing arrows, shooting beams of holy energy. You're about halfway there. You only got a couple needle bites you need to take down before you can get to the back door of the winery. So, Emma, did I skip you? No, that's a. Did I skip you?
Nope.
Okay, Lena Delina, you're next.
Okay. I am going to try and make my way to. Let's see. Do we think that we're going to need to or to kill all of the ones that we see, or do we think if we're fast enough, we might be able to make it inside?
I think if you can kill 4 more, you'll have a clear path.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to go to one of the ones that is not damaged.
Yep.
And take a swipe with my sword. Actually, first, I'm going to do that same insightful fighting.
So that you can get sneak attack on
it's 22.
The needle blight rolled much, much lower. The needle blight, I believe, rolled. I'll just do the math here. The needle blight rolled a 5. The needle blight's charisma modifier is -4. Turns out
Gotcha.
not being able to speak. I mean, you're mysterious, but you're still a needle blight.
Gotcha. Unfortunately, that is only a 12.
12 hits a needle blight.
Oh, great news. Wonderful news. Okay, so that's going to be 7 and then sneak it. 17 damage.
You slay a needle blight. Elavor and your saber-toothed tiger friend, you're next.
Alrighty. 23 to hit, yes.
All right, you're running through the rows of the vineyard. There's another needle blight right in front of you. You hit it.
16 damage.
You slay the needle blight.
Slain.
Oh no, I marked it as damage. It is dead. All right. Does your saber-tooth tiger also do some stuff?
Yeah, so right on my heels, we'll just go for the next one that's available. So +6, 17 to hit, and then we'll do 15 damage.
Another needle blight hits the dust. Also, Micah, I think I've now changed the token so you can control it.
Yay!
The saber-tooth tiger.
I can move it.
All right, Brildish, but a few needle blights stand between you and the safety of the winery.
Well, it's safe from needles falling from the sky. So
The
there's that.
different danger of the
Mhm, yeah.
winery.
Yeah.
I will rush up to the uninjured one and yell, "Inhale his name! Die, foul creature!" And roll a 12.
12 hits a needle blight.
Oh my god! Yay! These are the greatest things to fight ever. Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a million of them in the field here, so you can stay here all day if you want, getting peppered with needles.
Tempting. That's 11 points of damage.
They have 11 hit points.
Oh,
Nice.
is the other one like close enough for me to swing at, or is it far enough
There's
away?
not another one right
Okay.
nearby.
All right.
You're running toward. You're almost to the door.
Yep.
There's like one needle blight kind of staggering in the path amongst all of you. It looks like it's on its last legs. Crucible, can you do anything about it?
I'm gonna try to hit it with my Ikoa. That is a pretty pathetic 10 because I'm doing great today.
A 10 doesn't hit a needle blight. Imra?
I target it
Mm-hmm.
with my arrow. 19.
All right, it had a single hit point. It explodes into a small shower of dry needles. More needles are sailing through the sky as you all clamber in the back door of the winery, slamming the door shut behind you. You hear the sound of needles like chunk, chunk, chunk into the wood. You all crowd into what appears to be a glassblower's workshop where they make wine bottles in the back of the winery.
Oh.
I'm moving your tokens all there. The door is sealed behind you. There is a set of stairs here descending into a basement, and then a door off of the glassblower's workshop, which you know from the detailed map you were given by the Bartikov family, leads into the main production room of the winery. From here, you can hear the sound of little twig-like feet moving around on the floor of the
Oh,
production
so
room.
cute. The pitter patter of twig-like
The
feet.
pitter-patter of twig-like feet waiting to kill you with their blight-like powers. They've cut their way through a field of battle and a field of literal vines. They've made it into the winery. The first chapter of the Battle of the Winery is done, but will they win the war, or will they come up wanting against these horrible druids who serve Strahd? Why did they come here to begin with? Why? What's all this about? How many more times is Tony going to say the word vineyard wrong? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. Doot doot doot.
Doot, doot, doot.